Okay, so guys, hi everyone. Okay, so Hassan asked me first about the homework. Yes, we weren't able to talk about it on Monday, so I'm going to talk about it now directly. Let me close the chat at first. Okay, so guys, you have a speaking assignment for this time. Speaking. What are you going to do in the speaking? So, we're going to cover a new story now, and you will notice that it's a drama. A drama, it's like a play, and you act it on stage. So, what you have to do is to choose any character, know or memorize the lines for this character, and you have to act it out. In other words, you have to act. Okay, just to choose 2 to 3 lines, and you have to act in front of the camera. You have to act in a recorded video, just like 1 minute or less, in order to take a speaking grade for you. You have to act, you have to say the lines, and you have to show us the character. Okay, now when we read the story, you will know more about the characters and you will see what you have to do in details. Okay, guys, so are you ready? Let's start. I'm going to start with the vocabulary words and the reading lesson. Tomorrow we're going to cover the phonics. So this time we're going to move in a different way. First of all, your pages in the reading book from 108 to 111. So you will have the reading lesson with the vocabulary words in your reading book, pages 108 to 111. Okay? And so I'm going to leave the phonics for tomorrow. We have to start today with our vocabulary words. The vocabulary words are, listen to me carefully, guys. Annoyed. You can repeat them after me, okay, silently without unmuting yourselves. Annoyed. Just let me attend Muhammad. Okay. Annoyed. Attitude. Attitude. Commotion, commotion, commotion. Cranky, cranky. Familiar, familiar. Okay. Frustrated, frustrated. Long A sound here. Frustrated. Selfish, selfish. Speciality, speciality. Okay? What each word means, we're going to know now. The first word, annoyed. Annoyed. To be annoyed means to feel bothered or irritated. When someone bothers you, so you get annoyed. If you notice in the picture, someone is waking the boy, waking him up, but he feels annoyed. He's not comfortable, okay? Having to wake up every early annoyed my father and made him grumpy. So you see, he's not comfortable. He's feeling teased or irritated. He's bothered. So he is annoyed. He's not happy. Attitude, the second word is attitude. The attitude, your attitude is the way of the way you think, the way of you act, the way you feel. Okay, so it's a way of thinking, acting, or feeling, especially toward others or with others. So this is attitude. Okay, so attitude is a way of acting or behaving. Let me attend Karim. Okay, so attitude, we mean it's the way of behaving. Example, the girls had fun working together because they both had a good attitude. When we all have good attitudes, then we will all live in peace and we will all be happy. But if one or if some of the people do not get a good attitude, then we will face problems with them. Okay, so please, you have to try your best to have a good attitude all the time. Commotion. Look at the picture here. If you notice that the swans are like making a fight. They are. It's like they are fighting. They are noisy. They are making disturbance. So they are making a commotion. So a commotion is a noisy disturbance. There is a noise. There are some people or some animals or some things that are making disturbance. Okay, so commotion is disturbance and noise. Example, the swans made a commotion with their squawking and splashing. When they were squawking, they're making their voice and they were splashing. Okay, so they made a commotion. Let me attend Mary, admit Mary. Okay, so this is commotion. Cranky, cranky is a cranky person is a grouchy or in a bad mood. When someone is in a bad mood and he's not feeling happy, let's say maybe mad or sad, so we say that they are grouchy. Being hungry makes Neil feel cranky. Okay, so it's the same. When I'm hungry, so I feel cranky. Okay, so I'm not in a good mood. I would not feel like I want to tell jokes or to have fun with someone else because I'm cranky. Familiar, something familiar, you all know it. I think that's something known for you. Okay, you all know it, or you have seen it before. Something familiar is well known because it was heard or seen before. So something that you have seen it before or that you have heard it before, it is familiar to you. I took a familiar route, we mean way, from the bus stop to my house so that I would not get lost. Okay, so you take familiar streets in order not to get lost. You take familiar routes because you already know them. You know where you should go, so you will not get lost. So you should take familiar routes. Sometimes while reading, you face familiar words that you have seen before, that you have read before. Okay, so this is familiar, something that is well known for you. Frustrated, frustrated, when someone is frustrated, that it means that they or he or she feels disappointed. Okay, to be frustrated means to feel disappointed by being kept from doing something. Okay, when you are not able to do something, you feel frustrated, or when you don't know how to do something, you feel frustrated. The student the student was frustrated by the difficult assignment. So the student had a difficult assignment and she didn't know how to solve it. So she felt frustrated. Okay, she felt disappointed. Selfish. Selfish people care only about themselves. Okay, when you care only about yourself and you want everything to yourself, you don't like to share it with others, you don't like others to be happy, then you are selfish. Pay attention, do not be selfish, it's not a good thing. The two friends were not selfish at all and shared everything. So you see, friends should not be selfish, they should share everything that can be shared. Specialty, uh, I'm a teacher, so my specialty is teaching. She's a doctor, so her specialty is to see the x-rays, for example, okay, and tests for the patient. A specialty is something that someone does particularly well or gives extra attention to. For example, if the car is broken, so you have to fix it. And so you take it to the mechanic. So the mechanic's specialty is to fix broken cars. Okay? Understanding X-rays is a specialty that requires the training and the practice. For example, if you want to make a sports file, but you don't know what you should make, so you go and talk to a coach, a sports coach. Or okay, so his specialty is to teach you what sports you must do. So you see, specialty is something that you know how to do it and you have extra training and practice on it. If you want, you can check the lecture later and you will have it's like an activity related to the vocabulary words by clicking on the link down. Now, now we have to move to our theme opener, to our story. Let's watch this video. Okay. Um, in order to get more ideas about what we have to do in this story, or what the story is about, or the theme.
How do animal characters change familiar stories?
Okay, so if you notice from the question, you would know that we will have animal characters. Okay, and we're going to see how they change familiar stories. Stories that we have read them before. But let's see how they would be if the animal, or if the characters are animals. What's wrong with
It's not every day you see a bear cooking or a chicken making juice. Have you ever seen a dog make a cake? When you replace people in a story with animal characters, it changes it. The animal's traits can make the story funnier and more interesting. A group of animals made food to share at a picnic.
So if you notice that in the video they are telling us that here we're replacing human characters with animal characters, okay? And they are going to do actions related to human to make it funnier, okay? And also it's going to teach us a lesson at the end. So let's see what the story is about. But first, I think that Nancy, you want to say something?
Yes, the video was glitching a little bit, but now no.
Okay, okay, no problem. Yes, it was glitching a little bit. Thank you, Miss Nancy. Hassan, do you want to say something?
No, no.
Okay, good. Okay, guys. So our story, the ant and the grasshopper. Okay, the ant and the grasshopper. Okay, guys, please stop raising your computer hand. The ant and the grasshopper. So if you notice from the title that we're going to have animal characters, the ant and the grasshopper. What would happen between the ant and the grasshopper? Let's see. Have you ever read a story about an ant and a grasshopper? Jude,
Yes, took this before.
what? What is Jude?
Took this before. We
I
took
cannot.
this before.
You took this before? Where? When?
I don't know, but I think I remember it.
You know, so you know this story. You mean that you know it's familiar to you.
Yes.
Okay, can you tell it to us? Do you know it? Can you tell it?
The grasshopper will be very lazy
Yes.
and not collect stuff for the winter.
Yeah. But instead, the ants work hard and collect everything. That's right. That's right, Jude. So as Jude said, yes, the grasshopper will be very lazy, and he would not collect any food or any water for winter. Otherwise, the ants will work hard, and they advise the grasshopper to collect food and water, but he doesn't listen to them. Okay, so in winter, the grasshopper stays hungry, he starves to death, and he feels thirsty. He goes to the ant to help him. They give him a little bit of food and water, but they cannot give him a lot because they need it for the whole winter. So they tell him that, have you learned a lesson? He says yes, and the next time I'm going to work hard. So the story is familiar for you. I know it. It's familiar for you. Thank you, Jude. Thanks for adding this information. So guys, you would notice things here in the story this time. You will notice that on the side you will have the setting mentioned, the characters, and you will have paragraphs like scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Why? Because the genre this time is a drama. It's acted on stage, okay? When you act a play on a stage, so it's called a drama. So the setting on the African grasslands, the present, the time is the present, I mean nowadays, now, let's say. Characters, the termite. Termite is a kind of ant. It's the narrator. It's the one is telling the story. The ant, I will have the ant, the grasshopper, and an army of ants that work with the ant to collect water and food. Let's see. Scene 1. So guys, now while reading this paragraph, I will show you what you have to do in this picnic. Scene 1. It's raining heavily on the African grasslands. Termite turns and sees the audience. Termite happily, yipes! So here when the termite is talking or narrating the story, he shows from his voice intonation that he's happy. Yipes! I didn't see you. Welcome to the Great Plains of Africa. We're soggy now because it's the rainy season. So it's rainy now. So what should they do? Sorry. She shrugs and smiles. Today we'll visit two different friends of mine, Ant and the Grasshopper. Maybe you have heard of them from the other familiar stories. Let's see what my buddies are up to. So, guys, if you choose the termite character, the narrator, for your speaking, you have to act it. Yeah. For example, I mean, when you When you get in front of the camera, or for those who, let's say that your mother is recording the video for you, so you have to get in front of the camera, okay, and you have to show it, and you have to say, yipes, happily. You have to say it happily, and then you have to say the other lines. But you see, these things that between brackets, for example, she shrugs and smiles. You should not read it. No, you have to act it. To shrug, you raise your shoulders up and down and then you smile. You do not say it, okay? So you have to shrug and smile, okay? That's how you act. If you choose a different line, then you have to act it differently according to the character. The things between the lines between brackets, you should not read them, okay? They should be acted. An army of ants march in carrying leaves filled with water. You might have help from your brothers to walk with you as if they are the army of ants, if you want, okay? If you want to choose a different part, you can choose a different part. They approach a grasshopper who lounges lazily under a plant, and you can have someone to sit aside and act as if he or she the grasshopper. And in a loud voice. So you have to say it in a loud voice. What should you say? Company, halt! And then you stop. The ants stop. Then you stop. Okay, so you see, guys, you have to work on acting the story. Okay, I think that the speaking now is clear for you. You know what you have to do. And the deadline for the speaking is on Sunday. Oh, sorry. Bless me. Sorry. Okay. So, guys, I think that the speaking is clear for you now. Grasshopper, stretching and yawning. So if one of you wants to be the grasshopper, you have to stretch and yawn, okay? You spread your hands and you open your mouth to yawn, okay? Do not say them, you just act them. Then you say the lines beside the grasshopper. Ant, old pal, good to see you. I was just napping when I heard your feet pounding down the way. What's all the commotion? Okay. And pay attention, you should not say too much lines. No, just like, for example, if you want to act the grasshopper, just take this line, these three sentences, okay? It's not necessary to act the whole story. And looking annoyed, so you have to look annoyed. Grasshopper, sorry, I messed it up. What's wrong? Who wants to ask a question? Ali Fawaz.
Yes.
Do you want to ask a question?
Oh, no, no, no.
Okay.
Just
Okay, good, good. So let's continue. Grasshopper, have you noticed what falls from the sky above you? Ant stands at attention and points up at a cloud. Grasshopper sleepily rises and stands next to Ant. He looks at the sky. Ant, rain, grasshopper, rain falls from the sky. And when there is rain, there is work to be done. Grasshopper smiling, then scratching his head. Ah! Ant sighing, you should be collecting water for a time when it's unavailable. Instead, you lie here without a care for the future. Grasshopper laughing. You can do like this. Ha ha ha. Oh, don't be so serious, old buddy. There's plenty of water now, and that's all that matters. You need to relax. You're much too tense. Why don't you make napping your new specialty instead of all the silly toys? Stop working so hard all the time. And shaking his head as he grows frustrated. The rainy season will not last forever, grasshopper. Your carefree attitude will disappear with the water, and soon you will regret being lazy and wish you had been more energetic. The ants march off as the grasshopper continues to laugh. Okay? Scene two. Now I start with scene two. Let's see what happened in scene two. In the scene two, they spent a time. So it's a few months later, and the plains are now dusty, dry, and brown. Okay, so things change. Grasshopper, appearing weak and sickly, knocks on Ant's door, and seeming strong and healthy, opens the door. Grasshopper nervously, hi there, pal. I was in the neighborhood. Boy, can you believe how hot it is? So, I was wondering if maybe by chance you might have some water for your old friend. Ant tries to close the door, but Grasshopper quickly grabs it. Grasshopper, begging wildly, please, Ant, I'm so thirsty. There isn't a drop of water anywhere. And after a pause, so he stops for seconds, then he continues. We ants worked hard to collect this water, but we cannot let you suffer. Giving Grasshopper a sip of water. So he gave him just a little bit of water. Do not think us selfish, but we can only share a few drops with you. I warned you that this time would come. If you had prepared, you would not be in this situation. Grasshopper walks slowly and away. Termite watches him go. Termite. Although Ant has done a good deed, tired, cranky Grasshopper must still search for water. Grasshopper learned an important lesson today. Next time he will follow Ant's advice. Okay? So this is the story for the ant and the grasshopper. Is it familiar to you? I think that it's familiar to you. Let me open the chat for you if you want to say something. I think that you have heard it before. Isn't that right? The ant and the grasshopper, those who are lazy and do not like to work at all, they will suffer at the end. Yes, Hassan? Yes, Hassan. Is it nice? Did you like it? Yes, Hassan. Do you want to say something? Write it in the chat quickly. So, guys, you just have to choose very short lines and act them out for the speaking. Okay? Yes, yes. All of our parents told us this story when we were young. Even my parents told it to me. Excellent, good. So, Hassan Sabra, yeah, miss, you can write it in the chat. What do you want to say? Quickly. What's wrong, Hassan? Hassan. Yes, yeah, miss.
I don't understand what you wanna do.
Miss, you have to choose lines and act them out in the speaking. You have to act.
What we want to write it at
No,
paper
no,
or
act. You have to act it.
okay.
Okay, guys, so you just choose one character and you have to act it in a very short video. But please try to memorize the lines in order not to hold books in your hands. Please. Okay, guys? Okay, good. So now we have to continue. Miss, yes, it's on Flipgrid, yeah, Jude. Yes, dear, yes. It's on the Flipgrid. And now when I finish, I'm going to send you the Flipgrid link on WhatsApp group, parents group. Okay, Nancy, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Okay, good. Yeah, let's move on now. Let's move on before the time ends. Theme. When we say theme, we all know that every story we read, or most of the stories that we read, teach us lessons. So, what's the theme? The theme is of a selection, is a message or lesson that we learn, that the author wants us to learn it. He wants the reader to communicate with it. Okay, and in order to identify the theme, yeah, we have to pay attention to the characters, words, and actions. So, who wants to tell me what the theme learned from this story? What the theme learned from this story? Ali Fawaz?
The theme
What's
is
the yeah?
do not be lazy. You have to work hard.
Yeah, in
Um,
case something bad happens with you in the future, you have to think for the future. You have to
yes.
plan for the future. Excellent, Ali. Thank you. So we should not be lazy. We have to work hard, especially for the future. We should have a plan for the future. Okay, so what showed us this? What showed us this theme? What did the characters say or do that led us to know that this is the theme of the story? Who wants to answer? Jude? Where are you, Jude? Zoom is kicking you out, yeah, Jude, I think. No, هيك. Where are you? Where are you here? Jude?
Yes.
Okay, what did the characters do in order to show us that we have to learn this lesson at the end?
Always work hard.
Yeah, it's the lesson that we have to learn, but the characters did things or said things in the story that led us to know the lesson. What showed us the lesson? Guys, do you know? Who wants to answer? What showed us the lesson? Nancy? Nancy?
Yes, because animals doesn't talk.
No, it's not because animals don't talk. No. Okay, animals don't talk, that's right. But here we have a story, okay? It's a drama and it's teaching us a lesson at the end. The lesson is that we should not be lazy, we have to work hard. If you notice what happened with the characters, that
Yes.
at the beginning, all of you listen to me, that at the beginning the ants were working, but the grasshopper was lazy all the time. Okay? Then after that, the ants had water
And
for
then at the end,
they had water and food, but the
yeah, at the end,
grasshopper
the grasshopper
he
came to
was
bring water
thirsty
for
and
him.
sick. Yes, he was thirsty and sick. So these are the clues that
He,
showed us
he
the
came
lesson.
and took his health.
That's right. So first, ants collects water during the rainy season, while a grasshopper naps. That's what happened at the beginning. Okay, and then after that, ant tells the grasshopper he should collect water, but the grasshopper doesn't listen to ant. So you see, the ant tells the grasshopper to collect the water, but he didn't listen. So what happened at the end? We should plan ahead. The lesson that we learn is that we should plan ahead for the future. We should not be lazy, and also we have to listen to others' advice. Okay, we have to listen to others' advice. So these are the lessons that we learn from the story. We should plan ahead. We should plan for the future. We should not be lazy, and we should listen to others' advice. Okay, guys, I think that it's clear now. So we can move on. The genre, this time it's a drama, as I said, and it's fable because we're having talking animals. Okay, so it's a drama. Why? It has list of characters. It has list of characters. If you notice that at the beginning, let me show you. Here, you see this? I have the list of characters and the setting. They listed them. And also, we have a dialogue written between characters. Also, we have parts called acts or scenes. The parts are called scenes. And we have a stage direction, setting and the stage directions. The stage directions are the lines between brackets. You see them? The ones that I said, do not read them, you just act them. These are called the stage directions, like these stage directions. We do not read them, we just act them, okay? You act that you're giving the grasshopper a sip of water, a cup of water, but you do not say it, okay, guys? Okay? So it's a drama because we have list of characters and there is a dialogue between them. Also, we have acts and scenes. We have acts and scenes, and we have settings and stage directions. We have settings and stage directions. Okay? The last thing that we have to cover for today is the antonyms. Sometimes we find the meanings of words for words from antonyms mentioned in the paragraph. Read the passages, underline the antonyms that help you figure out the meaning of each word involved. Write the word's meaning on the line. Okay? So there is a bolded word in each paragraph. I have to guess its meaning, but through antonyms from the paragraph. Example number one, paragraph first part, sorry. Grant is talking. That's relief. I have heard stories about little ants that wander away and are stung by bees. They wander away, they walk away, and they got stung by bees. I hear bees are very cranky. So I have to guess the meaning of cranky through an antonym. Let's see. Beatrice, goodness, no, it takes a lot to get me irritated. I am usually very friendly. So Beatrice here, it's the B. It's saying that it takes a lot to get irritated. Okay, I'm usually very friendly. Okay, so what's the opposite of crank? Sorry, what's the meaning of cranky? I have to know its meaning through the antonym. If you notice here in this paragraph, you will find that the antonym, the opposite of cranky, is very friendly. Very friendly is the opposite of cranky. So what's the meaning of cranky? I have to find the opposite of very friendly, then it will be the meaning of a cranky. The opposite of very friendly is unfriendly, simply. So cranky means unpleasant or unfriendly. Unpleasant or unfriendly. Okay, so you see, through the antonym here in this sentence, I figured out the meaning of the word. So in order to know the meaning, you have to find the antonym of the antonym, then you will find the synonym of the word. The second one, Grant, all of the stories I've heard about bees are terrifying. So I have to find the meaning of terrifying, but through antonyms. Frank, let me calm you down. Have you ever met a bee before? So here, what is the antonym of terrifying? Calm down. The antonym of terrifying, calm down. Okay, now let's find the antonym of calm down. A different antonym for calm down. It is scary, very scary. So very scary, terrifying means very scary. I found the meaning of terrifying through the antonym of terrifying. So calm down. When you calm down, sorry, then you are not afraid, you're not scared. So the meaning of terrifying means very scary. So that's how you should find the meaning of words through antonyms. Okay, guys? So, guys, please, I need from you today to read the story at home. Read it in case you have questions tomorrow. You can ask me and you can get prepared for the speaking.